Hare Krishna. See, the great emperor Bharata Maharaj, at one point of time, even in the prime of his youth, it is said, he left his kingship, his kingdom, queens, elephants, horses, great respectable position in society, everything, although they all are very dear to one's heart, he gave up all of it to go to forest in pursuit of spiritual progress. Therefore it is said, Yo dustyajan darasutan suhridrajyam hridisprishah jahau yuvaiva malavat uttamashloka lalasaha. Uttamashloka is Krishna. One is glorified by choice poetry. So to search after Krishna, he left everything of the kingdom and everything and went to forest. But in the forest, he became attached to a tender deer and developed relationship with the deer. So much so that he became very much afflicted by fear that if I leave the deer in the hut, some tiger may come and eat. So he would carry it on his shoulder whenever he went for bathing. Night he would be keeping it on the chest and sleeping. And even when he was performing his spiritual activities, he was keeping it on his lap. In this way, gradually he developed more and more fondness for the deer by fondling the deer. Therefore, gradually his fixity and focus on the bhajan reduced. Even while offering ahuti in the fire, sacrificial fire, he was looking at the deer. That means his spiritual activities became weak gradually. And he became more and more attached to the deer. And the result was that one point of time when deer was missing, he imagined many things. Maybe some wolf has taken or tiger has taken. Maybe it's already dead. So thinking more and more about the deer and worrying about it, he searched in the forest crying. Wherever he saw the footprints of the deer, he said, how earth has become fortunate by the footprints of my deer. And so many things he was telling, crazily. Actually, he's supposed to admire the lotus footprints of Krishna. Now he is admiring the footprints of deer. At one point of time, not finding the deer, he hit a rock and fell to the ground. Was about to leave his body. At that time, suddenly deer came in front of him. Seeing the deer, he left the body, and then in next life he became deer. Now, how is it relevant to us in our lives? You will see when you come to even spiritual life, it's not that immediately you become jolly and everything. The initial jollity, in the initial jolly behavior, may be a kind of relief from the outside world suffering. You are slapped and kicked by the material energy, and when you come into the assembly of devotees, somebody gives you sweet rice, somebody gives you shrikand, somebody embraces you and pats you, somebody praises you, and singing and dancing appears very joyful. So this is the initial phase of spiritual life. But after some time, what is expected of us is consistency and steadiness in our practice, and responsible conduct in terms of rising early in the morning, taking darshan of the deities, bowing down to Lord, chanting the holy name, attending classes. Then one thinks, this is too much. Because the living entity in the conditioned stage doesn't want to be responsible. He doesn't want to do his duties. He simply wants fun. He's fun-loving. Like children want to simply play all day. They don't want to go to school. But they are asked by the mother and father, you have to go to school, otherwise what is your future? Isn't it? Similarly, a college student simply wants to have fun. Many times you see they're looking for different options for entertainment and enjoyment. Similarly, in a company, if you are fun-loving, they'll kick you out. Isn't it? You have to do your work responsibly. Correct, no? Everywhere you need responsibility and performance of your duty. And you have to prove yourself. In company, they have performance appraisal every 3 months. They'll check your performance. So, you find when a boy comes in, even in the midst of the assembly of so many wonderful devotees, suddenly you can feel lonely. What is this? What is this chanting, dancing? What is this hearing class? What is this? I was so free before. Now I have to do all these things. Like that the mind may say. So, because the mind is hooked to sense gratification. Like I saw in the railway station, one mother, father are dropping a boy to go to faraway place to study. So mother is crying. After going to college, the boy is connecting in relation with the girl. And when the girl ran away, he was crying. So mother is crying for her son and he is crying for a girl. You will see that everybody in this world is crying, but not for Krishna. They are crying for somebody, foolishly. Why? That is why in the Bhagavatam it is said, Bhayam dvitiyat abhiniveshatasyat ishadapetasya viparyayo asmritihi tanmayayato bhuja abhajetam bhaktyeka isham gurudevatatma. In this verse it is said, Bhayam dvitiyat abhiniveshatasyat ishadapetasya. When you turn your face away from the Lord, two results come. Viparyaya asmriti. Identification with the material body and forgetfulness. But Bharata Maharaj, when he became attached to the deer, he became forgetful of the Lord and he identified with the body. He thought, I am the protector of the deer and deer is very dear to me. He became attached to it. Similarly, in this world, everybody is crying for somebody. Mother is crying for the son because she is thinking he is my son. Actually, the jiva, every jiva, in the soul, in the body, if you see, every soul is moving from one family to another. Is it not true? Similarly, this boy is suddenly developing a relation with the girl and when she is gone, he is crying. Actually, his relationship is with Krishna. That he has forgotten. And he is connecting with different people and weeping unnecessarily. So in the Gita, Lord Krishna says, how to get out of this dark night of the soul. This is called as dark night. Dark night of the soul. Even in spiritual life, one can feel dry, one can feel morose. Everybody chanting, dancing, Hari Bol, and you are wondering where my morose. No. Yeah. Why you should be morose? And Arjuna was morose also in the beginning of the battle. Krishna is just standing 3 feet, 2 feet nearby. Still he is morose because he is disconnected from Krishna. Because he is not in a mood to follow Krishna at that time. When? In the beginning. Did he say, I'll follow you? He told Krishna, you follow me. He said, you take my chariot in between two armies and show me who are all assembled here. Say, madhye ratam stapayame achyuta. Hey Achyuta, take my, chariot between two armies. Yavadetan niriksheham yodhu kaman avastitan. I am going to do niriksh, he's saying. Nirikshan means what? Divinity is saying, super soul, take me to material world, I will do supervision, what all are that for me to enjoy. So because he was attached to the body of the relatives, he became completely forgetful of Krishna. He was attached to the body of relatives and he became fearful. Bhayam. How can I perform this war? So we cry, we become fearful, we feel lonely, we feel disconnected, we feel morose. And this is one phase of spiritual life which is called as dark night of the soul. Yadate moha kalilam buddhi pratitarishyati tata gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shutasya. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that you go through the dark jungle of this phase of life even after coming to spiritual life. So if you feel like this, understand it is quite normal. Everybody goes through it. But after this, a phase will come, just like you are in a tunnel. When you come out of the tunnel, there is bright sunlight outside, beautiful gardens, fresh flowers, beautiful lake and waterfalls, everything. You may wonder how dark it was and how happy I am. So all of us have to go through that dark phase of life, which is a doubtful phase, where we are not fully convinced in Krishna consciousness. We want Krishna consciousness to relieve our problems. But we don't want to surrender to Krishna, please Krishna, serve Krishna, and accept our belonging to Krishna. When the sense of belonging has not yet come, like this boy, the mother is feeling belonging to the son, and the son is feeling belonging to a girl. They all are feeling belonging to somebody other than Krishna. Once that sense of belonging becomes strong, Radha and Krishna, such a beautiful darshan in the morning, isn't it? They are offering their darshan, glancing at all of us, offering blessing. Actually, like I lost my mother and father in 2017. So I didn't feel any pinch of missing them. Because when I see Radha Vrindavan Chandra, we feel so happy, so homely. They are so homely and so warm to watch. And they are offering us prasad, they are offering us the shade of the lotus feet, and they are offering us services. What are we missing in life? Everything you need is there. Even though everything is there, a jiva may feel morose because of foolishness. This foolish phase of life one has to go through. But if you got a mentor or a spiritual superior in whom you have firm trust, right now in the early stage of spiritual life, we are blindfolded. But somebody is catching you by the hand and walking you. You should have faith in that person. Besides that person also should be a qualified person, a non-exploitative person, purely concerned about your good well-being. Correct, no? If somebody is escorting you like that, and then a time is going to come when your blindfold will be removed. At that time you can see the beauty of the spiritual reality. You will see, not only me, I am connected to Lord. All the jivas are connected to Him. Everybody is with Him. Everybody is under His shelter. The whole material and spiritual existence is existing below Krishna's lotus feet. So when that full conviction, full faith comes, when the sense of belonging becomes very deep-rooted, very strong, at that time there is no more moroseness. Shoka, moha, bhaya, apaha. All those things will be driven out. In order for us to come to the stage, two things are very important. One is, Yasyam vaishruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhakti rutpadyate pumsam shoka moha bhaya apaha. The hearing of the Shastra from saintly persons, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, the more the awareness of our position, Lord's position, Sambandha, everything becomes strong by hearing from great souls, Srimad Bhagavatam, and also the chanting of the holy name. Hearing the Bhagavatam is for hearing, contemplating, reflecting, applying, and sharing it with others. The more we do it, the knowledge sinks in our heart and it purifies the conditioned soul. And gradually the soul comes out of its dark phase of life. And the moha, sneha moha, all these things will go far away. Shoka moha bhaya, everything will go away. And also, the chanting of the holy name is a practical exercise we do daily to pray to Lord, oh my dear Lord, I am covered by dark cloud of ignorance. You are like the bright sun, far above the clouds, and I am unable to see you, unable to access you, unable to approach you. Although I am hearing so many nice things about you, please purify me, uplift me, accept me as one of your millions of servants. Let me return back to my original identity of having a sense of belonging in relation to you. Because Krishna means one who attracts and gives bliss. Instead of accepting the bliss that you give, I am chasing after the petty broken pieces of glass of this material world foolishly. So, let me not chase after the puddles of water when there is an ocean of rabadi available in spiritual world. So, in this way, the chanting is a daily prayer to the Lord. Get me out of this darkness. Bring me to sanity. Bring me to enlightenment. Bring me to original purity. And put me in relation with you, which I have forgotten. So, any soul, like it is said, tap the door, it shall be open. Isn't it? If you beg for help, you will get help. So the chanting of the holy name is a daily opportunity for us to offer our prayer, request the Lord for service, and beg the Lord for association of devotees throughout our life. In this way, coming out of illusion is not an overnight process. It takes time. Even Arjuna, even after Krishna spoke a little bit, he said, Vyameshrene vavakyena buddhi mohaya sivame tadekam padanishchitta yena shreho humapniyam. He says, in 3rd chapter, 5th chapter, again and again, he will keep asking questions. He will say, Krishna, don't tell me two things. Tell me to fight or go to forest. Don't tell me to fight and be Krishna conscious. He was finding it difficult. So we can also keep on asking questions, keep on getting answers, and keep on chanting. And sometimes you'll feel ecstatic, sometimes you'll feel static. Sometimes you are fired up, other times you are fried out. And it is quite normal to be like that. And be confident. It happens to every devotee. They may tell you or they may not tell you. Everybody has to go through this. Because we have not yet gone beyond anartha nivritti. And we have not come to nishtha. Once you come to nishtha and beyond ruchi, asakti and all, there is no question of faith shaking. Actually, the nishtha stage of faith is like a very stout tree. A tree cannot be, shaken even 1 millimeter also. But prior to that stage, Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, it is a shaky phase. And when you are in a shaky phase, have faith in the superiors, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, chant the holy name, do the activities. If you get bliss, be grateful. If you are fried out, pray for help. Meet the devotees, pray to the Lord. But many people are thinking, I am standing and watching the deity. We are not watching the deity, Lord is watching us. What can we see? Unless the sun comes in the sky, we can't see anything in this world. Our eyes have no power. So the more we understand Krishna's actual position, all illusion will be gone. And we have to be patient. And the chanting of the holy name eventually will stabilize us, fix us, and eventually will reveal everything that is necessary to return back to Godhead. One has to be patient. That's why Prabhupada said, Utsahan, Nishchayat, Dhairyat. Be enthusiastic, be patient, and be confident, and you will see that eventually the results will come. All of you who have been coming to all the classes and you come up to this point of 1 or 2 years, you have been practicing, you have remained steady, continue to remain steady, and you will see your life getting better and better and brighter and happier. Harinam Prabhu ki